Adam Schefter from ESPN, who's on top of it. Schefty!
Hey!
What's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
Good. How are you? We were just talking, Schefty, about just, what's the latest? Nobody better than you. Has there been anything this morning or this early afternoon where some moves have been made?
The one blockbuster of the day. It just transpired. Breaking news. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift announced their engagement.
What?
Wow.
That is.
Wow. That trumps all these cuts.
Right.
You weren't expecting that, right? That was on a day with hundreds of transactions. The biggest one of all was Travis Kelce entering to that arrangement with Taylor Swift, becoming engaged.
And look at the setting, Chef.
Perfect.
Look at the setting.
It's an album cover.
Who would have thought that Jason Kelce is going to be Taylor Swift's brother-in-law?
Wow.
And all those,
Not me!
and all those doubters a couple years ago, they all said it was fake. This program loves love. If Pat was here, he would say those exact words, and we've always been rooting for this.
Oh, you guys have?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
This program,
The internet's not approved of this, or
On your internet, probably not, but I think
I'm asking. I know you guys enjoy
it's
the
split down the
story.
middle. It's split right down the middle. I'm a Taylor Swift guy. I have been since Fearless, so this isn't any news to me. Everybody hopping on the train, but yeah, I would say a lot of people either are bummed about this or hate it with the passion of 1,000 suns.
So when you go to her concerts?
Yeah. Well, we went to Era's tour when it was here.
It was awesome.
It was incredible.
but actually, those other people, they should stop hating it because they all thought it was an act. So now, unless they think it's
That's next level acting.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. They should love it now because it's real.
it's real.
Yeah.
Well, Schefty, we really didn't expect you to break this. And this is
Curveball.
yeah. This
Wow,
This
that's
is a knuckle
massive
curve.
news. Remember this day forever.
Knuckle remember this day. Connor's crying over here. He's got a tear in his
Holy
eye.
shit, man. This is crazy.
Thought he was going to say Micah signed or something.
We just hit on the Browns with Kenny Pickett going to Las Vegas. Obviously, both these rookies now are going to be on the roster. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think they're going to carry both of them. They were planning to carry 4. If you listen to Andrew Berry during the local TV broadcast over the weekend, he made it sound like they were going to carry all 4. So now they've essentially traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick in 26. And there's 3 guys on the roster. Now, they could always, I guess, maybe bring back Tyler Huntley if they wanted to carry a 4th or sign another quarterback. But I think that they feel pretty good about having Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders on the roster. Joe Flacco is going to start in the opener. And look, these guys, Flacco gets the first chance this year. I would think at some point in time, Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders might get an opportunity. But let's also remember this. The Cleveland Browns have 10 picks in the 2026 NFL Draft. They've got their first-round pick and Jacksonville's first-round pick. They've got double 5s, double 6s. So they are loaded up with picks in what is going to be a quarterback-rich draft in 26 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Schefty, can you clear the air on, speaking of the internet, Shedeur Sanders it seems to be a very polarizing figure. Everybody wants to talk about him, has an opinion. Some are real positive, some have concerns. What's real? Like what do the Browns think of who he is, and what do they think of Dylan Gabriel and what he has shown? Seems to be kind of a forgotten commodity at times, in my opinion.
Herbie, I think they think that Shedeur Sanders is a rookie quarterback, and there's going to be good moments and there's going to be bad moments.
Sure.
And he was the 144th pick in the draft. And so I don't think they're counting on him to be their savior. They think they might have something. They don't know what they have. He looked great in the first preseason game against Carolina. He didn't look quite as effective against the Rams when he held on to the football too long and took sacks and made plays that basically, I think, contributed to him falling in the draft. And the truth is probably somewhere in between, where a lot of rookies are going to have ups and downs. Shedeur Sanders had him during the preseason, and it's the Browns' job to bring him along, develop him, give him a chance, and see what kind of quarterback he could be at the next level. And I think the same is true of Dylan Gabriel. Let's remember, they drafted Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds ahead of Shedeur Sanders, so the organization had a higher opinion, higher regard, more belief in Dylan Gabriel when they drafted him than Shedeur Sanders. That's the fact of the matter on where they were drafted. And Dylan Gabriel's looked good during the summer, and my guess would be that he's going to be the backup for Joe Flacco, and it wouldn't surprise me if both rookie quarterbacks at some point this season get some type of opportunity to play.
Okay, great. AJ, what do you have, bud?
Chef, do you want to pivot? Obviously, everyone's asked you a million times about Micah Parsons, but what do you, in the next 7 to 10 days, is anything going to happen? And if he's not playing week 1, where is he going to be? Will he be on the sideline, like with a back tightness? Like what's it gonna look like?
It's been the biggest question at training camp, aside from when Taylor and Travis would get engaged. It continues to be the biggest question of training camp. And here's what I would say today. As negative as this situation has been, Terry McLaurin and the Commanders were not close to a deal, and they figured something out. Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals were not close to a deal, and they figured something out. If both of those sides can figure something out, that gives me some hope that there's a solution in there somehow for Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys. That's the upside. The downside is where they're currently at. They're currently in a state where the two sides have had absolutely zero discussions about a new deal since Jerry and Micah had their off-season meetings in late March, early April. They've had zero negotiations, zero proposals, zero back and forth. We've got Jerry really worked up and disappointed with the way this transpired. We've got Micah announcing the fact that he wants to be traded. We've got Micah not practicing at all during the summer, him saying he's got a tight back. And so they open the season in 9 days, a week from Thursday, in Philadelphia. And even if the two sides can figure out a solution, that doesn't seem like it's going to happen right now, today. Even if they could do that, Micah will play, but he'd be limited. If they don't figure out a solution, my guess is his back is going to be too tight to play that night. That's going to be my guess. We'll see how that works out. And if they don't figure out a new contract, I think it's the type of drama that threatens to hang over this team's collective heads all season long to where you don't know whether or not he's playing. He's got so much money at stake. Whenever he does get a new deal from whoever he gets a new deal from, he's going to become the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. So from a guy who didn't play in his senior year or his last year at Penn State when it was COVID, I just think he's going to be very careful about when and if he's on the football field if he doesn't have a new deal. New deal, everything's off. And right now they're not talking. But Hendrickson and McLaurin, I think, provide some hope that somehow they could figure out a way. This is the time that these things usually happen. But the issue with this particular situation is nothing has happened. Nothing. And Jerry's dug in. So you tell me how that's going to break, how that's going to snap, and we'll figure out whether they can get something done to get him back in uniform.
All the while, Schefty, you got a brand new head coach in Shoddy who's just trying to fix all the other concerns that have haunted this organization over the last several years. Ty, what do you have, bud?
Yeah, Schefter, you mentioned Trey Hendrickson. That happened yesterday right as we got off the air. Is this a situation where, we're going to be kind of right back in the same spot next year? Obviously, they get a little bit more team control. He can still be franchise tagged, and he gets a nice little pay bump. But had this been in the works for like a couple days, or was it really just like, hey, let's put our swords down and get something done because our defense absolutely stinks and we need a little juice and we need to get you back out there?
I would say this, that it's a case where Trey and the Bengals were really frustrated with each other over the weekend. So I think it kind of came together quickly. And the Bengals weren't prepared to pay him the type of money over a couple of years, 2-3 years, that he wanted. And I think he was looking for long-term security, couldn't get it. And the solution, in the end, was doing this deal where he collects a $14 million raise. $14 million raise. And just minor little things.
Okay.
Just minor little things.
Oh, don't up us for minor little things, Schefter. You get us excited.
You got a house fire again?
Yeah.
I love it.
I love these live.
There's nothing better.
Live
Yeah.
updates.
It's sweet. This is the.
I wish it was a home run though, right?
Yeah.
Instead of a
Micah.
foul. That was a foul ball and a left field line.
Yeah, exactly. Shot on goal and soccer.
Yeah. Nothing.
So anyway,
Yeah.
I was on Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. Is that where?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
they came together. Again, that's what gives me some semblance of hope that maybe Micah and the Cowboys could have some type of breakthrough. Because I'm just telling you, over the weekend, these sides were nowhere, and it came together really quickly, and that's kind of how it happened.
Okay. Well, you can take some time there because Connor is going to hop in next with a question.
Yeah, Schefty, and again, I'm probably going to ask a terrible question, so you can ignore it if you want. But there's a report, I forget who tweeted exactly, but Jalen Milroe is going to have his own, package for Seattle this year, going to definitely be playing with the first team. Yeah, here it is with a special set of plays that they'll have in the game plan. What is the expectation in Seattle when it comes to Milroe? They signed Darnold to the 3-year deal, but the way the contract works, a lot of people are saying that's really just a 1-year deal and they can get out of it. Do they have hopes for Jalen Milroe to be the future in Seattle? And how much time should we expect him to get early on in the season?
Herbie could answer this better than I could probably, but I would just say to you that they drafted Jalen Milroe to develop Jalen Milroe. And while they're developing him, and that could be a couple of years, I think they want to utilize his talents because why would you not take advantage of the skill set that he brings you and what he can do? And Jalen Milroe can be a weapon on offense for the Seahawks, and they know that. So they're going to utilize him in certain spots while they plan to develop him. And by the way, while they develop him, we don't know what kind of quarterback he is or isn't going to turn into. But I'll say this, they are very pleased with Sam Darnold right now. I don't think they're thinking of saying, okay, let's get Jalen Milroe ready here for 2027 so he can supplant Sam Darnold. They are obviously focused on 25, and they believe in Sam Darnold. And by all accounts, he's looked really good this summer. They are very happy. I know that to be the case. And we'll see how he plays and how he produces this season. But Milroe is going to be factored into their offense. He's going to be mixed in. He'll be a weapon. But I think that they plan on developing him over time.
Tone?
Schefty, there is a couple wide receivers who are rumored to potentially be on the trade market. Jacoby Myers, who had 1,000 yards last season. He hasn't had less than 800 yards in like the last 5 seasons. He's been very productive, and I don't think he gets talked about enough. And then Adam Thielen, who had 1,000 yards 2 years ago, was banged up last year, but probably would have had another 1,000 last year with Bryce Young. Both of those guys are talked about being potentially traded. Thielen specifically to the Vikings. What's the latest on those two?
Yeah, they've not made much progress. They've not been able to bridge their differences. And again, I'll lean on the Hendrickson McLaurin theories that these things sometimes can come together. But Carolina is not willing to give Adam Thielen away, and so right now, subject to this changing, it looks like it won't happen. But you never know if there's going to be a last push here today or tomorrow to get a deal done to send Adam Thielen. Now, if you're the Vikings, you say, yeah, we'd love to have Adam Thielen, but we're not going to pay what Carolina wants. Maybe we just go sign KJ Osborne, who the Commanders released today, and can step in to Minnesota, knows the offense there, and can help provide some relief until Jordan Addison comes back from his suspension and Jalen Naylor recovers from his hand injury and Justin Jefferson is recovered from his hamstring injury. So Thielen to the Vikings have tried, and they continue to try, but up until now, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Who's the other receiver?
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. My understanding is the Raiders had one team reach out to them. They wanted the Raiders to pay some of the $11 million salary, and the Raiders are not willing to do that, and they're not looking to deal him. So Jacoby Myers is going to be there, barring something unforeseen happening. I mean, they could decide a few games in he's not happy, he's not behaving well, but they don't want to trade him, and they view him as a productive player. He's been a really good player, and he's entering the last year of his deal, so they want to hold on to him in Vegas. They're not looking to deal him, and right now they have no intention of trading him.
Schefty, just talking to so many different people that you talk to, are there any teams besides the obvious? We know about Buffalo. We know about the behemoths, Baltimore, the Kansas City Chiefs. If you had to guess a team or two that you think putting some young pieces together and they look like they could become a team that's in the playoffs? Is it Atlanta? Is it Seattle? Is it Arizona? Who do you think could make a possible run and surprise some people this year based on the people you've been talking with?
Well, let me say this, that at this time last year, I was convinced that the Broncos were going to do just what you're talking about. And I believe that the Washington Commanders, if Jaden Daniels was going to do what he. So if I'm going to identify a couple of teams in that category this year, first of all, I know they've won the division 4 straight years, but I don't think the Buccaneers are getting enough attention as a proven team. As a sleeper team, a long shot team that we think is going to make a jump up this year. The first team I'll look at would be the New England Patriots. I just think with Mike Vrabel there, he's going to have them playing hard, and Drake May is poised to take a jump. And I'm not trying to make Boston Connor any happier here, but I think that here are going to have a chance to compete for the playoffs. So, yeah, you can tell Mike Vrabel I'm dialing up the heat on him here, right?
No doubt.
Playoff team, right? Tough. He's going to have a nice Labor Day weekend here after getting through cuts, a little break, and we got me dialing up the pressure on the Patriots saying that they could make a playoff push here. But I think they can. I think they're good enough to do that. They've got some holes, but I think that team is poised to make a jump. I think Arizona is going to be better than people realize. I think the New York Giants, brutal schedule, but I think that team is a little bit better than people realize this year.
Those are good ones. Falcons, if Penix can stay healthy, it seems like they have a shot. Is there anything you're waiting on right now? I mean, we all get excited for this day to find out who might be let go. There always seems to be a few surprises. Is there anything out there that we should all be kind of waiting on that's an either-or situation with in the NFL?
Aside from a wedding date for Taylor and Travis.
That's fair, yes. Yeah.
I think that we could see Cam Robinson, the Houston Texans left tackle, traded. The Texans drafted a tackle in the second round. I have to look at the name to be able to pronounce it correctly because it's not a simple name to pronounce. But when I look at it, I think I can pronounce it correctly. Give me a moment here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
So their new left tackle is, here we go. I hope I say it right. Arante Ursary.
Awesome name.
Draft pick. And Cam Robinson struggled with injuries. And Ursary had a chance to take over the summer and not only stepped into that role, but shined. And so it made it such that the Texans can trade Cam Robinson. So I think that it wouldn't surprise me if he's traded. We're still waiting for the Vikings to make a move at wide receiver, whether that's trading for a receiver, signing KJ Osborne, doing whatever it is that they do. And there's obviously still going to be a slew of moves made between now and the 4 o'clock deadline, 146 minutes from right now.
Is the Vikings trade, Schefty, that's strictly because of the Addison suspension, or is there any worry with Justin Jefferson's health?
Well, again, you got Jefferson coming off a soft tissue injury. He's expected to be ready for the opener. You've got Jalen Naylor, who would have been their third. He has a hand injury. Not sure how much time he's going to miss. And you've got Jordan Addison serving a 3-game suspension. So there's a few receivers that are banged up. And you got a quarterback playing his first NFL snaps. So you want to give him as much support as you can, being that he's never played in an NFL game before. So they need to come up with another receiver or two here, and we'll see what they can do to help out J.J. McCarthy.
All right, one last question for you, Tom.
Yeah, Schefty, real quick, because we haven't talked about it in a while, and I don't know if it's because Cam Hayward went back to practice, but there was never really a resolution on his contract that I am aware of. Is he just gonna? Did that just go away, or what's going on right now with Cam?
Nope, it did not go away. It's still there. It is unresolved, and I think Cam Hayward talked about the fact that he was willing to retire. Now, I haven't heard anything since then, but there are a few unresolved situations, and this one just has not generated as much conversation either because people don't believe him or he's older or whatever it may be. But I think this one, we haven't heard the last of this one just yet, and we'll see where direction that goes. I don't think he's been a part of a team practice yet. He's gone through individual drills. Yeah. He's done running. He's stayed in, but I don't think he's practiced with the team yet this summer.
I think it's because DK and Aaron went on his podcast and said, "Oh, Cam, I forgot it's all about you and your money," and I think that kind of solved the whole thing.
Oh, So that was it? Okay, great.
Yep.
Then it's all over.
Sounds like he's getting a couple of those under the table Italian knuckle sandwiches, if you ask me.
Maybe we saved money on a punter yesterday. Maybe just give that to Cam.
There you go. Schefty, man, you really are always dialed in. Appreciate you hopping on with us, and look forward to seeing what comes down. How many minutes left? 100 and what?
Right now we've got
143.
120, 143.
Well done, Kirk.
All right.
140. And who would have ever thought this segment would start the way it did? I never thought that this segment today
We'll never
would
forget
lead off
that.
with that news.
Yeah.
That I actually sent out on as an ESPN alert because I felt like there's enough interest, and I'm sure there's
power.
Yeah, I didn't know you had that power.
Oh,
Schefty.
Are you a Swiftie too, Schefty?
Let me say this: that I took my wife and my daughter. We saw her in Foxborough in the rain show. It was incredible. She was remarkable. It wasn't raining. It was pouring for 3.5 hours. And you never would have known. Like, if that were me standing out in the rain after 2 minutes, I'd be like, get me an umbrella, get me inside. I'm way too soft for that. She stood out there, played the piano in the rain. You never would have thought anything was wrong.
Wow.
And it was
Performer.
It was incredible.
Oh.
She walked out that night. She said, I've performed in the rain before, but this is the rainiest of rain shows I've ever been a part of. And it was a monsoon. And she didn't flinch.
Blink. And the crowd didn't blink. That was a special night.
Probably loved it.
Incredible.
Schefty, you're the man. Thanks, buddy. See you soon.
Thank you all.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
All right. See you, buddy.
Schefty.